Dude, that was epic.
I love it.
Oh, it doesn't hurt that our friend Nico makes the most awesome vibe ever made.
Yeah.
Oh, that sound is just, it just nails it.
It's the best, man. It's just, I hate to say it, but it puts you into a vibe.
Oh, bucka boom, boom, boom. Psh. All right, so if you guys are not familiar with this cat, amazing, amazing. You're one of the cats that can do anything, and I'm so jealous. We got, I mean, you should see him play metal. It's just like, you can probably go straight from that into like Yngwie. But anyways, this is RJ Ronquillo over here.
How you doing?
And we're both total Hendrix geeks, is like as much as you could probably, well, you even more, I'm thinking at this point.
You know, I did have that tribute band in high school, and I had an afro wig that I would wear.
Oh, no, you did not.
And the clothes I still have the jacket. It's like a tassel, like,
dude, please
fringy
tell me
jacket.
You have pictures of that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I have video.
Well, we're gonna put a. No, you do not. Is it good?
Great story. It's a talent show, high school talent show. And little known fact that David Grohl was in the audience.
Oh, shut the front door. Yeah. No pressure.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, go. Did you set it on fire?
No, we didn't have a fire department on hand.
Right.
But I did play with my teeth.
Please tell me you've put that out somewhere. It's
on Facebook for my family and friends.
We're gonna put it at the end of this video.
Full clip. Okay.
All right, so if you haven't figured it out, RJ really, really does have a lot of that Hendrix rhythm stuff down so good. And this is all part of a new course that we did together where it's all in the style of the different eras of Hendrix. And this is the first edition, but you definitely have the vibey, like machine gunny Izabella kind of thing happening, like going deep on this one, which is amazing. And this particular track, when I saw you do it, I was like, oh, good Lord. Because I feel like there's a lot of stuff on Hendrix double stops and a lot of the really cool elements of his playing, right, that a lot of people do, but not many people go into this. And it's a whole other like frontier of amazing.
It's one of my favorite aspects of his playing, I guess. And it kind of started with, I remember first hearing live at Winterland, the Killing Floor.
Oh, dude.
The intro to Killing Floor, which is just like that driving, rhythmic, 16-note.
Can you do
percussive.
That? Yes.
I don't know. I mean, it's probably 20 times faster.
Dude, it's crazy fast. Like, I don't know how he keeps that pace going and then starts singing. It's just like, dude.
Yeah.
He doesn't get enough props for his rhythm playing. His rhythm playing is just freaking terrifying.
It's very exciting.
Yeah.
So I kind of, got interested in it, in that aspect of his playing, and he doesn't do it all the time, but there's certain key tracks like Izabella.
Okay.
Izabella. His version is Izabella. Our version is Izabella.
Right.
But the intro to that kind of also has that element of 16-note, picking, very percussive, very rhythmic, at the same time being funky and chordal.
Yeah.
So
is it, it seems like a lot of that stuff that he does when he does that kind of playing is like basically out of like Pentatonic Box 1 is all the riff and the note generation.
Yeah.
And then that back and forth between the thumb and like maybe double stops and the high string, like on Foxy Lady and all those other songs too, where he seems like he's just manipulating that.
Yeah, exactly. So like Foxy Lady. So if we're in the key of D for this intro, and we're dealing with the first position pentatonic, he's he's really just riffing on the stuff that feels good under his fingers, where it's like that type of thing. And by the way, I am using my thumb as usual to be able to do this, because you need all these extra fingers to be able to.
That's your bass player.
Yeah, do stretches like that, stuff like that. So, I mean, there's elements of double stops, like stuff like that.
So you can just kind of literally double up going up or down the scale.
Sure, I mean.
Okay.
All that's accessible. That's accessible. Everything in
David
between.
Bowie.
Yeah. And this one. That's a big Hendrix thing.
From like the third?
Yeah, for the minor third.
Oh, cool. All right.
So that's like a cool thing.
So those are our note potentials, but dude, how do you even start to broach like the whole concept behind the picking hand?
Yeah, so let's go to the picking hand real quick. And something that I like to talk about is how Hendrix kind of thinks like a drummer when he's playing.
Makes sense.
And not necessarily like the fast stuff is necessarily a beat, but if I play this kind of simple pattern like, and I take off the notes and I just play it muted and listen to the picking hand. So it's almost like a marching band type thing, or it's kind of like the Are You Experienced intro, right? So there's that. I mean, that's kind of like a stock pattern you can use.
It seems like when you flip the pattern over, you do like a pickup into it.
Yeah, there's all these little ghost notes for sure. And that's because I am in the back of my mind subdividing 16 notes in the back of my head. So yeah, so it's like I have this pulse in the back of my head going, so sometimes I'll, add an extra upstroke or something.
Okay.
So if I'm just playing and I make that into this rhythm, it's almost like those 16 notes that I'm leaving out are still kind of moving in my hand. They're just not translating to the pick.
You can't stop your hand.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, you might not be able to see it on camera, but I can tell you that I'm feeling it in my hand. It's just not a matter that I'm putting it into the pick onto the strings.
Okay.
So that's very important. Is just kind of having a constant pulse or beat in the back of your mind when you're doing this type of stuff.
Okay, so break down kind of that first pattern you did with the two,
so
they can get an idea. What note? What's the notes that you're doing?
So I'm hitting. It's weird. So I'm using my thumb on the low E string, and I'm playing the octave above on the D string, the fourth string.
Okay.
And I'm there's a lot of muting going on. So I'm striking all the 6 strings with my.
Yeah, which is a huge part of the sound, that rake.
So in order to do that and just have the octave notes ring out, you have to mute, this 5th string, which I'm muting with the flesh of my thumb, I guess. And then all that stuff is being muted by a little bit of this finger and a little bit of this. And I kind of do that subconsciously. I'm not really paying attention to that. It's just kind of natural now that I know which strings are underneath, what fingers to mute.
Sure. Okay.
So is the first kind of lick. So I did that chaka chaka, extra chaka just for rhythm.
It's almost like this has a shaker rhythm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just another percussive instrument.
Okay.
And if you think about this as a whole, it's like you're playing a riff, but all these extra scratches happening in the background is like a shaker, is the percussion.
Yeah,
so
and
you're
the
actually
doom, doom, doom is like almost like the quarter note, almost like the quarter note hits. There's a couple of hiccups in there, and then the other things that
yeah. So you got shaker and guitar happening at the same time.
Maker.
That's right. Shaker and melody maker. Shake your melody maker.
Right. Black Crewes knew what they were doing. Crows. See, I can't even talk today. Coffee. I need coffee, RJ. All right. So there's that. So break down that first thing you were doing.
Yeah. See, I do it like a pickup.
Yeah. Okay, and so there's that aspect, and then he moves that around as he changes chords, right? That kind of overall shape a lot.
Yeah, I mean, like once we're done with that,
Nice.
So you can really just hold on to that grip
And just move it around.
yeah.
Okay, so it changes up a little bit when you drop down.
Yeah, so we were thinking pentatonic as our kind of like what we're working off of, and I'm still thinking that down here. So that's right. So those are just
amazing,
part
yeah.
of the pentatonic scale. So, as far as the notes go, they're pretty easy notes that we all kind of know if you know the pentatonic
Sure.
scale. So really, the money of this technique is your left hand muting and your right hand rhythm syncopation.
Shaker. Okay.
Yeah. So
You changed up the actual note variations, like it's a different kind of a rhythm almost though once you come down here.
yeah. So I mean, that would kind of be the breakdown of a simplified beat.
Okay.
So it's almost like you can think of, even if you just play with no notes and just kind of come up with rhythms off of your.
Yeah, and where your hand stops for a second and doesn't do the chukka chukkas or whatever, it's almost like that's when he lets a chord ring a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Or vibrato or something like that.
Which is
So that's kind of like that Foxy Lady thing,
okay.
which is cool because you're, it's a nice contrast because if you're riffing on the lower notes. It's almost like a horn stab, like if you have like a big band section.
Oh, right.
So you're thinking you've got like, the meat and potatoes of the band, and then like the horns come out to like stab. Yeah, so that's how I think of it. So
Okay.
He really has a full band on his guitar. That's
Full band in one set of hands.
Yeah, drums, bass, guitar, horns, shakers.
Spent a lot of time by himself.
Yeah.
How can I sound like a band by myself? Okay, so if you were to kind of break down that progression, what's the actual progression that?
So once we get into the song, it's actually kind of like a G blues progression. So. And for the 4 chord, I just move that all back up and do the same thing. 5 chord, and then this variation.
Nice.
So I should point out this is the Izabella version of the chords.
Sure, exactly.
The original Izabella is a the little bit different. So this is kind of my.
Yeah, these are all like
interpretation.
in the style of the tunes, and the whole idea of the chorus is to basically get you the mechanics of what he would do, and obviously we modify the actual song and note choice a little bit, so that's we give him respect, but not directly.
Yeah, Exactly.
But anyway, so all this stuff is going to be available and down below in the description box. Again, this is the first of a few series, and if any of you have my Hendrix course, that's like a foundational level. It goes over all how to play around the chords and all this kind of all the shapes and the little wings and the bold as loves and all that kind of stuff. And I brought in RJ to do all the like deep dive stuff, whether it's like the Band of Gypsies stuff or the really funky stuff. So I think this specific course, man, it's like all that awesome stuff that I feel like it doesn't get taught very much, you know, and it's some of the coolest stuff that he does. And that's when I heard you start doing this kind of stuff, I was like, dude, he's got to come in and break down some Hendrixisms for us.
I don't mind doing a deep dive on Hendrix anytime.
So we also go over tone and all that other stuff. But other than that, make sure you check out and follow RJ too. He's got, and hold on to your wallet because he does amazing equipment demos and he makes every pedal sound awesome. So it's like, if you're a pedal or a gear geek, tread carefully when you visit his channel because there's lots of goodies over there. And then any other place you do Instagram or that whole bit too?
I guess I'm on everything now.
Really?
Instagram, TikTok. I don't use it.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
So dedicated. He's the most disciplined dude ever. All right, so thank you once again. All this is brought to you by you folks out there and your support at brettpapa.com. So thank you for all of the support. You guys are amazing. We'll catch you next time.